Greetings, Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, Lady Helen experienced her first jealous rage after witnessing Ada and the Alpha sneak off for a woohoo. She took her anger out on Lord Ralph with a slap, but later slapped Ada too. Later, at the royal grounds, Ada began Prince Elmer's training with swords. He was talented and defeated the matchmaker within 2 sessions. The matchmaker. Unfortunately, there was a mistake on my part in thinking Ada was somehow the kennel master, which means both our wolf teens will need to do their training, and thank you so much to the people who pointed that out to me kindly. In the early hours of Monday morning, the pack gathered to celebrate Prince Harvey's birthday into a teen. He definitely felt a growth of werewolf power inside him, but there was still something wrong. Harvey developed the evil trait as a result of his childhood bitterness. Now he has until the full moon to figure out what's changed within him and what has stayed the same. You know, guys, I seriously cannot believe that I thought Ada was the kennel master. I was so confident and so convinced that I was getting down on the training and all of those cool things of the kennel master, completely forgetting that no, Ada is the matchmaker and the newest lady to join the pack, Lady Helen, is the actual kennel master. Maybe it's because she looks so flippin' sweet. For some reason, I can't connect her face to the title of kennel master, but no, she is the kennel master and she should be doing the training. Now, obviously, since the previous chapter, I have learned a few things about the sword fighting mod, like the fact that any of my sims with swords in the inventories can just autonomously get into these fights and, training, which I flippin' love. And since that is the case, I'm gonna change kind of my guidelines for the Kennel Master's training just a little bit. I'm gonna make it so that the Kennel Master basically challenges and fights with the princess until they win over her, but there's gonna be no preliminary sparring to get them to acquire that skill. They're just gonna dive straight into it, because from what I'm seeing and what we just saw, also the staircase is not floating. There is something over there. Promise, there's something. There's a carousel over there. But yeah, since everyone is kind of oh my goodness, that is so cute. Oh, this is just the cutest thing here. We are totally gonna have to bring the horses over to the circus more often so that they can play with this bull, because we don't have these toys back at the castle. Oh, this is just too cute. The fact that our horses are actually inside the tent. I flippin' love this. And they're on stage. I love this so much. So much. But yeah, like I was saying, we are not going to, do the sparring and then get them to acquire the skill, which is, a really minor change. So, that is something we need to work on. That aside, I have gotten everyone except our newest prince to join the pack. I've gotten everyone a sword, so we should be seeing them practice with each other autonomously, like we saw Elmer and the Alpha do, which I really like. So that'll be really fun. We can see, which adults are taking the initiative to train the youngsters. We also have had Prince Ed age up, and so Ed has joined us. So let's take a look at him. This is Earl's son. So let's take a look at him. This guy's is Prince Ed. He's kind of cute. He's interesting looking for sure. I like how already we can see the differences in their appearance as children. I think it was apparent when they were toddlers too, which is really cool, but definitely as children we can see that they look different. I have to say, I think I would still prefer Eugene to, I think I prefer Eugene to Ed, but then again, Eugene is Jim's son, and I was biased towards Jim back in the day. I was biased towards him. Right now, though, out of all of the princes that we have in the pack, I think our blue-eyed villain has stolen my heart just a little bit. Oh, look, see, these two are fighting now. But yes, the blue-eyed villain, he's still in my heart just a little bit because of the stuff he's going through. Harvey, I'm intrigued by his story and where he's going. He's got a time crunch, he's got a secret, he's got problems he's trying to figure out. And he also looks really cool. He's got a really interesting mix of genetics. Now, his father was one of the males I absolutely despised, but hey, he ended up giving me the kid that I like the most, so that's really fun. But yeah, so that's what we have going on. Now with Ed, my voice, Ed, he actually got the music lover trait. So that tells me Ed is probably, and he seems to be a full werewolf, like, the other boys, but that kind of tells me that maybe Ed is more of a patron of the arts and has taken an interest in the artistic side of things and the noble aspects, I suppose, the royal aspects of his education, things that don't have to do with fighting nearly as much. And the fact that he's talking to Elma, maybe Ed is the type of person who is not very, confrontational? Maybe he is someone who is not really into, the feral fighting side of things. Maybe he prefers to sit back and enjoy the peaceful side of life, the more intellectual side of life, actually. So in that regard, I definitely think he would get along well with Ed, with Elma, because Elma shares that concept of, werewolves being civilized and not giving in to their wilder side. So that's nice. And they do have a good relationship, so that does make me happy. But while we are at the flippin' circus, I think I'm gonna get the training going at the circus. Like, I don't wanna wait around too much. So we're gonna get Helen. I'm gonna get Helen to change. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? Are they doing the cowpoke dance? Oh, the beastie boogie. That is interesting. These are new moves that I have not seen before. That's interesting. But let's get her to change. We're going to get her to change into her armor. We'll get Elma to do the same. And we are going to get his training started. Now, he might do just as well as he did with Ada. But yes, Helen's the one they actually need to be battling it out with. So let's come here. Let's challenge with a sword. And we'll get that going. Once he's done, we'll do the training for Harvey. I definitely think Elma has quite a strong point right now because, accidentally. He did have that whole session, a couple of sessions actually, with Ada. He's had autonomous sessions with his father, Lord Roy. He has also had, that happened off camera, and he's had a session that we just saw with the Queen. So he definitely has a lot more experience than Harvey will. And we know Harvey's character, he's someone that likes to run away from things. And Ed's watching his older brother Elma actually go through this. Now also this means when we get back to the castle, we are going to have to do the archery contest because we need to check the status of the boys based on that as well. So, I completely forgot. So aside from Ed aging up, little Prince Charlie is also a toddler now, and he looks so cute. Hold on a second. He looks so cute, guys. I didn't realize how good Claude's genetics would mix with Queen Julia's, but look at him. He's got that white hair, he's got the dark blue eyes, the pale skin. He is just precious little kiddo. Oh, I'm really excited for this one too. I'm really excited. I think his genetics, they're quite a contrast to Harvey's, but that's probably why I like Harvey so much, and that's probably why I like him so much. Eugene's really close to him, obviously. Eugene is very similar in appearance to Charlie. Eugene has, the blonde hair, and he's got, I think, he's got blue eyes. So I think he's got blue, not dark blue. Whereas Charlie has dark blue eyes. And then, where's Harvey? Harvey has light blue eyes. Yeah, so there is a bit of a variation. And they both have the light skin, but I don't know, maybe it's the white hair as well. It just looks cool. So, okay, we've seen the little one jumping around over there. His father Claude in the background. And the attention is back over here. But as I was saying, I find it so cute that he's doing his training with Helen, and then Ed is watching his brother. And we kind of know they bonded a little bit outside. So that's really cool. Now, what I wanted to ask, have you guys noticed any of the dynamics between the kids? Oh my goodness, what happened to the swords? Oh, okay. He won! Congratulations. Okay, so he finished his training. He's very talented. That's great. Good to know, good to know. Did they throw their swords somewhere, perhaps? Did they throw their swords somewhere? And you know what? This will be a great... I don't know what happened to their swords for a second, but this will be a great distraction for Helen. She won't have time, hopefully, to be jealous of Ada and everyone else because she's going to be too busy training the youngsters. Okay, Harvey, it's your turn now. Harvey's feeling playful. He was a little bit annoyed earlier. Helen's pissed now. Helen is angry, but maybe you can distract her a little bit. Let's go distract her. Okay, Harvey. We'll get this done. Oh, wait. Hold on. You need to change into your armor, kiddo. Change into your armor so you can look badass. And then, you challenge her with a sword. So, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. He looks really cool, too. Oh my goodness, this is too cool. But he just developed this ability, so he might not fare too well against Helen, who has a little bit more experience than him. But, it's up to him as well, autonomously, to go ahead and do the stuff that he needs to do. I mean, at some later point, if I ever replace a responsibility of the Kennel Masters with something else, I may just leave it for them, to do this autonomously. But for now, I think I'll keep it. At least all teenagers should get at least that initial training. Oh, did they not? Okay. I definitely feel like they should get that initial training with the Kennel Master. Because then, it gives a little bit of importance to that particular role. They've got something to do. With the matchmaker, we already know they, are in charge of setting up the matches. So, within the story, they do have something they do. Really? You guys didn't win? Was it, Okay. I'm pretty sure that was a challenge, but I suppose this was, a draw between the two of them. No. That means you need to continue. You guys have to continue if it's a draw. The horses are so cute, playing with that ball. Okay, they're bringing the fight down here. The fight has gone off the stage. They're now down here with their fighting. Okay. Yep. Ed is so fascinated by all of this. He was watching earlier when Helen was fighting with Elma. Now he's watching these two fight. He's just so fascinated, but obviously he's too young for this. He doesn't have... Maybe he's never had an inclination for violence and confrontation, but maybe it's something that he wishes he had the courage to pursue and something that, could interest him. Maybe. He's seeing all these older boys and he's seeing the Kennel Master, fighting with swords, and it just looks so cool, and he wants to be there doing that, but it's not really his nature and his personality. He prefers to kind of learn about music and listen to people play and, perhaps play himself in the safety of peace. That's kind of what he's more inclined towards. It's his natural calling. But sometimes when you are exposed to things that are the opposite of you, you find it attractive in a way. That could be a thing. Who is Ada fighting? Oh my goodness, these two are fighting. These two have actually been fighting since the last chapter. Not gonna lie, they've been fighting since the last chapter autonomously, practicing with each other, so that's kind of cool. Oh, we almost lost this, but he lost, so he has to keep trying, he has to keep going, because his training is not over. This is actually good for him, though. His training is not over until he defeats the Kennel Master. I wonder if that's gonna make him feel jealous, because, yes, Elma has gotten all this other training beforehand, but even from the get-go, he kind of has been defeating everyone that he's fighting with. I think the only person that he could not defeat, we saw him defeat the Alpha, we saw him defeat Ada, and he defeated Helen in the first go. The only person he could not defeat was his father, which I find intriguing. But obviously, people weren't really witness to that, and it wasn't an official, training session. But I wonder if this is going to make Harvey jealous, because this is already Harvey's third test, right? His third training session with the Kennel Master. So I'm sure it would irritate him just a little bit. I mean, the first fight they had was a draw. The second one he lost. Elmer, he doesn't care either way. To him, it's a sibling, it's his younger brother that is getting the training that he needs, so he's not going to think too much of it. But Harvey, I feel like, cooks up. I mean, he's evil as well. He cooks up. He has a lot to be bitter about. He cooks up a lot in his head, and, he's a bit not there mentally. So I feel as though he would take these things and he would create more of like a really chaotic and pitiful story in his mind about how others are always trying to look down on him and show them that, they're better than him. All things that he's just creating in his own head, but oh no, he lost again. And everyone's needs are going down quite a bit. So I need to like deal with their needs and then continue, because I'm actually having a lot of fun staying at the circus ground. So I don't think we're gonna go back just yet. I'm gonna deal with everyone's needs, and then we'll continue with some more training for Harvey. We are continuing on Monday night. These two are getting back to their training and sword fighting. And you know what, guys? I have kind of decided... Hold on a second. There's this light I need to delete. But I've kind of decided that with the needs, I may just turn the need decay off. Right now, I've disabled it on all of my Sims. And the reason for that is, we've got these things, there's certain elements of the game that I love playing with and certain elements that I don't. I know I usually keep the needs on, or I keep the ability for needs to be disabled on, because I like the possibility of there being poisonings. But we have since discovered that, since the beginning, we've discovered that there are many other ways for our wolves to die. They can die from hysteria, which they also seem prone to. They can die from anger, right? Just a crazy, flood of anger. They can die from that. They can die from ice or being frozen. Basically, there's a ton of ways for them other than starvation. So I'm just going to turn off my needs, because I want to be able to focus on the things we need done for our stories. I want to be able to focus on, their trainings. I want to be able to focus on their whims when we go places for relationships and stuff. So I don't think I need to have the needs on. He finally succeeded. Excellent. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't think I need the needs to be on for me to be able to enjoy what's happening, because how often do I show you guys, these people actually going to the bathroom, having a shower, eating something? Almost never, because or sleeping. I'm barely doing that. I'm always, doing something to further the story along and further the characters and, them aging up. I'm focused on that and pack dynamics more so than just playing the basic Sims game. So I think I'm going to disable this. I hope everyone's okay with that. That is where my brain and mind is at. This way also we don't have to, rush back home and skip things because I have to go and fix everyone's needs. And I mean, before I used to actually, in the beginning, not of this series, but I'm talking about when years ago I started playing Vampire Amazon. I used to actually bother to do things with the vampires to fill their needs up. And then I started using potions, and at some point, because, the potions and them, I think ever since The Sims started having that glitch, I don't know what it is, there's a bug in the game that makes it so that your Sims just do not recognize that they're in such a bad state. And, half the time, they need, the emotions, typically, or, the needs panel, it should be, glowing red and stuff, or telling us that something's wrong. It used to happen before, but a point came when it just stopped working that way. and Wayo Sims, they stop recognizing that they're flippin' starving and they should go feed themselves. I think from that point on, I just started cheating their needs up, and now I don't even play with that basic function. So I don't feel as though it's got a place in my game. Obviously, I change the way I do certain things as I go, and it's supposed to make the game more enjoyable for me. And right now, this is what is more enjoyable for me. But anyways, I had to go into a long spiel in case anyone, wanted to pick my brains about why I would make such a horrendous decision. But there we go. Oh my goodness, Twilight! Twilight, you are so cute! I love the fact that we have a circus and that we have horses in the circus on the stage. It makes me so happy and so excited. But okay, we finished with his training. Now, it took him how many battles? 4? It took him 4 sessions of training with the Kennel Master in order to actually finish and complete his training. Elma, it took 1. And now I'm curious to see, if he's going to autonomously seek out more training with others or not. We know his brother definitely is, but that's very intriguing to me. So yeah, we are going to have to go back to the castle at some point and do the archery contest with Ed, but we also have a bunch of whims that these people wanted to do, which I want to try and in motion where possible. Well, we can't cloud gaze, but you wanted to chat with Lord Earl, so where can we seek him out? Where can we seek Earl out? Okay, where is he? Where'd you go, Earl? How are you not here? I don't know how he's not here. We are going to teleport him over because he must be here. So we'll just teleport him right over here. I don't know why you want to talk to... Oh, hold on. I don't know why you want to talk to Earl, but he's very, very curious. Oh, I was worried for a second. I was like, how does he have a romantic relationship? No, he doesn't. Are you related to Earl in any way? I don't think you are. You're related to, Yeah, you're not. You're not. You aren't. Sometimes I get confused about certain things. Let's vent to him. We'll consider that chatting. But yeah, I don't think you're related to him in any way. You're not. You know what, though? I think this conversation is about. I think I have an inkling. So we all know Lord Earl as being someone who is from a renowned family for having, eternal life. That's something they've been able, or immortality, they've been able to attain, or members of their family have been able to. And him in particular has traveled a lot, come across different artifacts and different things. And maybe Harvey is hoping that in his travels, Earl would have come across other wolves that are going through what he's going through. Obviously, he has to be very careful about how he trickles information through because he doesn't want Earl knowing the reality of his nature, but I'm thinking that's what he wants. He's looking for information to see if there have been instances of other wolves who, are unable to transform. And he has, a day until the full moon comes. It's going to be on Wednesday night. So he's still trying to, work out as much as he can. And if it doesn't work, he needs to figure out some other way to hide it from everyone, which, he has no clue what's going to happen right now. Because all the wolves more or less transform together and run rampant, but he needs to figure something out. So I think he's racking his brains about that. Okay, and Elma, well, he can't cloud gaze with his father right now. Oh, Helen's been acting curiously. She wants to flirt with Lord Jesse. Lord Jesse. I cannot connect the dots right now. Why do you want to flirt with Lord Jesse? Sometimes they do certain things and I can't connect the dots until a lot later. Like when Ada started flirting with Helen and, that whole thing started between them, I was so confused. But then a chapter afterwards, it kind of just hit me oh my goodness, she looks so much like Catherine. That must be it. So anyways, okay, she's flirting with Jesse. Maybe a connection. Sometimes the connections come and sometimes they don't. She wants to be friendly with Prince Will. Oh, Will is such a good shepherd. I'm not gonna lie. Little baby Charlie's naked right now, but he's teaching him his cards, he's such a good, oh, don't insult Harvey. Don't get on his bad books. Don't insult him. I bet you Helen just said something about him being surprisingly weak for a pureblood of the royal line. Oh, Harvey's not gonna take that well. Okay, be friendly with him. Let's gossip about the neighbors. To Will, why not? Can you stop picking a fight with Harvey? Like, that makes me very nervous. Whoever Harvey socializes with makes me nervous. And these two became good friends, which is kind of interesting. You know, Elma's he seems to be very diplomatic. That kind of fits his personality. Oh no. Oh no. Who's he arguing with now? He's arguing with Jesse. He's fighting with everyone, of course he is. It's Harvey. But I kind of love him for it. I kind of love him. I think Harvey is my favorite character right now. Yeah, I think he's my favorite right now. As a child, not so much, but as a teen, definitely. I have grown very fond of him after his teenage birthday. And Lord Earl just became friends with his son? Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Where are they? Oh, they're socializing with each other here. That was really nice. So they became friends. Okay, Ada wants to... Okay, you can't do the cloud gazing. Julia wants to woohoo with Ada. Well, I don't have any place to do that over here, unfortunately. And I don't think you can go here. I don't think you can do that in the... Like, there is nothing here in the hay pile for you guys to mess around with. So we are going to have to take you back to the castle. And we need to get the archery contest done anyway. So let's go ahead and get working on that. It is Tuesday morning, and we don't have a lot of time before Academy starts for the youngsters, but Prince Edcurse is going to challenge Master Eugene Harvey to an archery contest, because right now, Eugene is the lowest ranking member of the pack, like, you know, the boys, their age group, and obviously, he needs to defeat him in order to get his ranking up higher. If Ed doesn't, Ed is going to be the lowest ranking member. And this is actually a very important contest because they have a difference in their bloodline status. And so, right now, Eugene, you know, he's still a noble below the first two princes. But if he manages to keep his position and Ed ranks lower than him, it's going to be a huge thing for him because it's going to mean that Eugene, from now on, he actually is going to rank above all of the lords. So, him being a master, the princes rank above lords. So, if Eugene, you know, he as a master usually ranks below the lords. But if he ranks above a prince and a prince is above a lord, that means Eugene is also above the lords. So, I think a lot is on the line for him to actually do this. Another thing I want to quickly note is the difference between them two together and how Harvey was with Eugene, because if you guys remember, during that contest, Eugene had to ask Harvey so many times to, you know, do the contest with him, and Harvey kept making excuses and kept walking away, and it actually took Elma to come and pull him over to Eugene and get it done finally, because, you know, rankings and status is very important for their social life going forward in the castle. But with Ed, as soon as he asked Eugene, Eugene complied, and there wasn't any sort of fuss about it. Elma didn't even have to be in the vicinity for this to go down. So it kind of tells me, you know, these two, they're good princes. They're definitely good princes. The problem child was certainly Harvey. And what's this? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, he missed? And he also missed. But this tells me Prince Ed ended up beating Master Eugene 1-0. Okay, guys, that's clear. That didn't glitch up. Last time we were having the glitch where it was the victor and the loser had the same name. But anyways, okay, Prince Ed won. Well, his title just doesn't change. It's still the third prince. But he ranks above Eugene. Unfortunately, this means that Eugene now becomes the lowest ranking member out of 4, and he is still below a lord in status. But you know what? I'm sure Queen Julia would be quite pleased with this result, because Offspring, I think it's an honor for a master to rank above a prince, but it would be like hella embarrassing for a prince to rank below a master, because it's as though they lost their blood privileges. They lost the privilege their birthright gives them just because they were weak. So good on you, Ed. I'm proud of you. I don't know if you can have academy with the rest of the youngsters. Everyone's gonna go off real quick. Yes, okay, he does. So he's gonna go off to academy. That is fine. Let's not shoot arrows. You guys go off. Morn Prince Alfred. He was gonna go Morn Prince Alfred. Interesting. I wonder why he would be thinking about Alfred. I don't remember the dynamic they had when they were younger, but I'm fairly sure we said Harvey. I'm pretty sure Harvey, he actually got benefits from Alfred dying in terms of status and ranking. I think it was good for him socially when Alfred died. So it's curious that he's thinking about Alfred now. Anyways, Julia, do you want to maybe, you need to get your servants or something, the butler, to do the where is it? The bills. Okay. Get them to deal with the bills. Please. Thank you. I'll get the butler to deal with the bills that we have. And she wanted to... Oh, some of them have some whims. Stargaze. Well, it's too late for that. Cloud gaze. Oh, we can do some cloud gazing. Yes, we can. And she wanted to woohoo with Ada. So, actually, why don't we get... Oh... Why not go to the observatory? I mean, they could go to actually go to the hot tub. That's very public, and Helen definitely will not like it if she notices, and I'm assuming that she definitely will notice, because our Queenie is going down there where they are. So if they make the deal down there and then they come upstairs, Helen's definitely going to pick up on it. And then she might be really cheesed off. But, who cares? Sometimes things have to be done. And it's the alpha. The alpha does what the alpha wants. What you going to do about it? Nothing. So anyways, she's going to go get some alone time with Ada. And, I completely forgot to add Ed to the group. Can I do it from here? No, I'll have to do it when they come back from academy, which kind of sucks. You don't have... Really? I guess it's because they're not in, at home, on the home lot right now. Oh, she was dancing? Too busy dancing to notice? Oh, she was too busy dancing to notice. She's being jealous. She wants to be jealous, but also the urge to beast boogie. It's blocking her senses. Yep. It's scouring her senses, so that's fine. That's fine. She's gonna continue being happy down there. Being none the wiser. Meanwhile, Ada and Queen Julia are gonna sneak upstairs. But as soon as the kids come back, guys, I need to get them to add Ed. Yep. Have him in the group. That way everyone can be well connected. And especially, I think the benefit of, the benefit of us having the groups, it's more so when we have members of the opposite gender living out of the house but in the same generation, for them to stay connected. But we're not going to have that problem, I suppose, because, we have all boys, we don't have any girls. So that's one thing we don't have to worry about. It's good to keep note, though. As soon as Ada's done with this, I want her to go find Lord Jesse. Now, where is Jesse? He's not even on the lot. Okay, I'm gonna have to teleport him over. Would it be awkward to teleport Jesse right over here? I mean, they're pretty... Okay, you know what? They're done. We're gonna teleport Jesse because I want them to socialize. We're gonna cloud gaze with each other, and that'll be complete. So I'll get you to summon Jesse over. You know, guys, I'm really curious now about how Jesse looks. Yes, Jesse, thank you for coming over. I really appreciate that. But I haven't seen him in so long. I'm actually very curious. He seems to be very much at peace in his wolf form. So does Will, for that matter. But I feel like Will changes. Like Will and Jim, they also seem very... Oh, this is kind of awkward. He's casually just looking at them in the hot tub. But no, with Jim and Will, they are in their wolf forms a lot as well. But I see them also being humans, you know? Whereas Jesse, I have not seen Jesse be a human in like so long. He's always just wolfing around. But okay, this is done. This makes me happy. We might jump back to later, like after the boys have done their homework, to see what else everyone wants to get up to. Maybe we'll do some horse riding. I suppose I could also do some off-camera and get their skills up. Maybe I'll do that, and we'll come back when we have some whims to work with. It is Tuesday night, and we are picking up at the Old Wolf Marketplace. Now, something that I have noticed with Harvey, guys, he seems to be very, very nice to Ada, his stepmother, and I don't exactly know why that is. He hasn't really gone out of his way to have any sort of mean whims for anyone. And maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe that's because he is trying to keep his true nature and his cards close to his chest, because he, you know, is still a little bit in the deep end of things in terms of figuring out what the hell he's going to do about the full moon. So potentially he doesn't want to tick anyone off or make anyone overly conscious of him, because they might start asking unnecessary questions during the full moon, or they might have it out for him because of his, you know, misconduct and keep a strict eye on him. So I'm assuming that's the reason why he's actually being so amiable with people around him. But he actually wants to be friendly with Lady Ada, so I'm gonna get him to do that. I'm gonna find Ada, who is out here talking to Ben, and complain about parents. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to spread a nasty rumor. Maybe discuss logic puzzles with her. That feels like a decent conversation to have. Discuss something logically with her. He'd probably want to be in everyone's good books, relatively, so that they have their guard down, for one. And, you know, he hasn't entirely figured out what needs to be done just yet about his own capabilities and what he's lacking. So I think he wants to, our blue-eyed villain, I think, wants to try and, you know, be less villainous for a little bit. But the day he gives us those scary whims is going to be a very exciting and terrifying day, no doubt. It's okay, he's just over here chatting with her. He's here chatting with her. Also, I had the horses, like, inside the store, and I don't know what they were doing inside the store, but they were wandering around, so that was kind of intriguing to see. Okay, we got that done. Helen, she wants to be friendly with Will, so let's go find Will and vent to him. She has been talking with Ralph over here. I'm pretty confident this is Ralph. They've been talking to each other outside. Now he's angry, so that makes me a little bit worried about whatever the heck was going on. Oh, this is like family time. It's Helen, her fated mate Ralph, and their son Edwin down here. Aww. This is such a cute family dynamic, except that Helen just keeps finding problems with her romantic interests. So, you know, that makes things a little bit difficult. If she just accepted her fate, they would actually be really, really cute together, these three. They have the perfect dynamic going on. But that is that. Does anyone else have anything they'd like me to work on, that I can work on? Okay, he wants to go chat with his mother, Queen Julia. Where is Mother Dearest? Okay, she's coming down these stairs. Let's tell her an outrageous... no. Not an outrageous story. She seems annoyed too. Okay, can we do something that she may approve of? I don't know if you want to complain about stuff, but is he close enough to his mother? I feel like he'd be careful right now. He's gonna go hug. He's gonna go hug Queen Julia. He seems like someone conniving like that. I mentioned it earlier. I don't think he'd want to bring attention to himself right now by being rude to people or being mean to people. What? He tried to hug his mother and she was like, no. And now she's provoking him? Why? Why? This is so sad. I know he's our blue-eyed evil villain, but like, this is so sad. Even if it was fake, he was trying to hug his mother and she just said no and then provoked him. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. What if he turns around and decides he wants to kill you? What then? That would be problematic. No, that would be problematic. And to be honest, I haven't even laid down any rules about whether, an alpha's offspring can murder them or anything like that. Haven't done it yet. But that could be a thing. I don't know. I feel like evil Sims should have the ability to murder anyone. Like anyone. And I mean alpha too, so who knows? That could be a thing that happens. Okay. Nothing going on with anyone else today. More or less seem to kind of be... Oh, this is what I was talking about. Wizard, why are you in the store? I was so excited last time about the horses being inside the circus, and now it seems they have gotten a taste of being indoors and they very much enjoy being under a roof, and now Wizard has somehow wiggled his way inside the store. Well, Wizard, you are a wizard indeed, aren't you? What a magical horse. It is very early on Wednesday morning, around 4 a.m. Prince Elmer wants to stargaze with his mother, and this is also, a moment for him to have some deep talk and bond with her. I feel like with the full moon approaching tonight, Elmer is probably thinking that it is his younger brother's, first transformation into a werewolf, and it's going to be a big thing, and he didn't have an older brother to help him through it. He figured it out eventually on his own, just being with the pack while they went through the whole transformation process, but he feels like it would help Harvey quite a bit if he told him some of the things that he might be experiencing during that time. Obviously, Alfred had passed on by the time Elmer was old enough to have his transformation, so he didn't have a brother to help him through it, and he wishes he did, so he's trying to be there for Harvey and provide that for Harvey, not knowing the issues that Harvey's having. So I think this is also him conversing with the Queen and letting Queen Julia know that it might be good for him to, pair up with Harvey and stay close to him during the transformation. So Julia, obviously someone, being someone childish who doesn't really like to plan too much or think ahead, these thoughts I don't think went through her head at all, and so when Elma suggested them, she thought, oh yeah, that's fine, you can kind of do what you want, but I don't think she has any sort of feeling coming across her as though she should be maybe, putting a hand in and trying to help as well, and maybe she should be motherly, and maybe she should be more supportive, and she should figure out a way to help as well. No, nothing like this, nothing of the sort is going through her mind at present. I mean, she rejected Harvey's hug last night, and I imagine Harvey, look, he just walked by, but I imagine even seeing them two sitting here, watching the stars together would irritate him just a little bit, because again, it's like everything at this point is like proof for him that people look down on him and people know something's wrong with him, when you know that's really not the case. Elma was talking about Harvey with their mother, but Harvey might not see it that way. But anyways, that's what was going on here. And what's Ada wanting to do? She wants to ask Julia about her day, so she's gonna check in on Julia. And oh. Hold on a second. Julia, come on. Let me just grab you. Okay, we want to check in on her, see how she's doing. Okay, Ada, are you gonna... You're gonna go to the queen? Do I have to line this up again? Yes, we'll check up on her. Also, who is thinking about the dead? So she's thinking about Lillian. She's thinking about Lillian for whatever reason. That's kind of what I'm gonna take the ghostly ones for. Not actually doing the ghostly ones, because I usually don't. Like I said beforehand, it's the fact that, you know, they've passed on, they're gone now. I would rather them focus on those that are alive by their side, but we can always take these as inferences about where their head's at, like who they're missing, who among the deceased they're thinking about. Was Lillian related to her in any way? I don't think so. She wasn't related to her. But Ada might be just thinking about how they don't have any daughters. There's like no one to match up with her son in the next generation. Also, speaking of that, some of you have been asking whether or not the boys are going to start breeding when they become young adults, and the answer to that is no. So I am only going to be breeding members of the pack who are in the Alpha's generation. So right now the Alpha's generation is, you know, Julia's generation. So the ladies, they bred until they had the 6 boys, and we're only going to start breeding again once we have the next Alpha, whatever age the boys are at that point in time. So yeah, it doesn't matter what age they are, we won't be breeding in this season anymore, I suppose. This generation, no more breeding. We are going to wait until we have a new Alpha, and then the breeding season, I suppose, will start then. So I guess in terminology, I haven't really put it in this way, but I like the breeding season to start from when we have the first child and the 6th child. So the breeding season starts on the first child, it ends on the 6th child, for whatever gender we're aiming for. So this generation we had boys, next generation the breeding season will start from the first child and end when we have the 6th girl. If that makes any sense to you all. And the queen is thinking about Lady Lily. And what flirt with Lady Lily? She's your enemy. Sometimes, I swear, the queen, did she even have a romantic relationship with Lily? I don't think she did. You didn't. You flirt. Like, what is wrong with you? That is strange. But she's thinking about Lily. She's thinking about, you know what? Maybe she is seeing her son Ed. This is such a weird connection, but Ed is Lily's nephew. What am I saying? Lily was his aunt because she is Earl's sister and Ed is Earl's son. So I think maybe Julia is looking at Ed and thinking, oh, you know, we had some fine genes passed on to him. She's quite pleased with the way her son turned out. He's quite handsome. And then she's thinking that, actually, now that I think about it, Lady Lily was quite beautiful and quite lovely as well. Maybe that's the connection in her head, the only one that I can make. So we have that going on. None of these boys are particularly thinking about anyone. You know what, though? We might pick up once we have the full moon going on. So obviously the boys, they're going to go to academy right now. They're slowly leaving to go to academy for the day. When they come back, they're going to do their homework, and then we're going to have the full moon. And we need to see what's going to happen with Harvey and what more we can learn about his dormant state. It is Wednesday night of the full moon, and we have to keep an eye on Prince Harvey because he needs to avoid everyone else so that he can figure out whatever's going on with his body and his powers on his own without interference. Now, I don't know when the others are going to start transforming. We have to keep an eye on them. They're going to start raging pretty soon, and they're definitely going to transform tonight like they do every night on the full moon. We do know that Elma has kind of decided that it would be a good idea for him to be with Harvey so that he can talk Harvey through what's happening. But Harvey's going to do his best to avoid Elma and the others. And obviously the kids are not going to be transforming, but they're going to see who does and who doesn't, right? So Elma here, he wants to chat with his mother, maybe a final chat with her to make sure that everything is going fine. You know what? Now would probably be a good time to become best friends with Mother Dearest, wouldn't it? I feel like it would. Maybe not. Maybe have a deep conversation. Come on, we're getting up. We're gonna go find the alpha and we're gonna go chat with the alpha. Maybe tell her a dramatic story. Fine, do that if it's what you want. But I'm kind of getting nervous. I have autonomy on, so anyone could go anywhere, obviously. But ideally, we want Harvey to be on his own and not with anyone when they transform, because they will see who does and who doesn't, and that would be quite problematic for him. He wants to keep this secret to himself. But again, that's going to be dependent on where everyone is when they start transforming, you know? So hopefully he has enough sense to keep away from people, or, you know, nobody walks in on him, because that would just be very uncomfortable. Everyone else seems to be doing quite well, and that's pretty much all we're waiting on at present, is to see when everyone starts transforming. Okay, this is a dangerous situation right here, because you're dancing with these dudes. Yes, that's fine, but if they change now, if they start changing, you're gonna be in big trouble. This is his father right here, so that's not a big deal. Maybe it's not. Would he kill his father for finding out his secret? I don't know, maybe. They have a good relationship, though. They have a good relationship. I don't imagine he'd want the others to know, however, what's going on with him. Now, how is he with everyone? So he is friends with his brothers, and what's this? Lady Catherine. He's thinking about Lady Catherine. Okay, everyone's starting to feel the call of the moon. He feels the call of the moon now as well. People are starting to feel it. Oh, this is dangerous. I think they're starting to transform, because he's glowing red. His father's glowing red. I don't know where he's going right now, but I think everyone's going to start transforming. This is so scary. He feels the call of the moon, though. He's very, very angry. He's thinking about Catherine. Maybe he's hoping to escape to, you know, the graveyard, because hopefully no one's going to be there at this time. Dude, he stopped short. He's not going in. Okay, oh, he's glowing too, though. He's glowing too. Does that mean he's going to change? Because he's glowing as well. Has anyone else changed? Nobody else has changed. Some people are getting really cheesed off. I don't know I think Jim was already werewolf. I'm nervous. He's going to go inside, and he's no doubt going to come across people. If he wants to go upstairs, he's going to have to go past Jim. I suppose it's not going to be too suspicious if other people are still in the middle of changing, but if everyone's changed and he's the last one, I don't know how he's going to be able to explain that, you know? Okay. He's going inside, and I don't want to, I could totally just lock him up in a room, but I don't want to be controlling his actions. I want him to write his story, and therefore he is writing his story by making choices about where he's going to go and what he's going to do. And I'm just going to have to deal with the consequences of that. Is he changing? Guys, is he changing? I swear, I did not do anything to him. I didn't do anything to him. Apart from... Wait, what? It says he's a dormant wolf, and I didn't do anything. I did not do anything to him, except go in cast and just fix up his appearance and his werewolf appearance. But I didn't... He still has the dormant wolf trait. So I'm confused. Is he changing? Okay, he's transforming. Wait, what? He's transforming? He's transforming, guys. He just changed into a wolf. He just changed into a wolf. How does he still have the dormant trait and still transform into a wolf? Is anyone else confused like me? Because he didn't have any problems changing when it was the full moon. Ah, but he's a golden wolf, so that's really cool. He's a golden wolf. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, and now he went up straight to his brother. I'm pretty sure this is his brother. He went straight up to Prince Elma after he changed. And then we have the Queen Julia next to them. So it's the family. They're like howling together. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure what this dormant wolf means then. Because obviously, the wolf ain't sleeping soundly within Harvey. Well, if this is the case, then I'm gonna have to, get rid of that trait. I'll have to get rid of that dormant wolf trait because he seems to be displaying all the wolf qualities. He has changed into a wolf. He smells like a wolf. That is fine. And that's okay. I suppose nobody's death is going to be required for him to change now. He seems to have done it on his own. So I will definitely be getting rid of that dormant wolf trait. Now, did things go wrong, guys? I mean, hey, it's great for the story. It works out because turns out he is a werewolf just like the rest of them. He doesn't understand why he was feeling the way he was, or there was a block, but he managed to overcome it when the time came. But I think that fear and that doubt he's had in his entire childhood, it's definitely shaped his personality and his character. So I could totally see going forward, even though he is a werewolf now, and he has transformed and seemingly he has no issues, I can see him still being like fearful of losing it somehow. Like having this paranoia that, this werewolf ability he has is only temporary and it's gonna leave him or it's gonna be taken from him. I can see him being kind of possessive of this form. So, or like obsessed with it. So that's kind of interesting. But anyways, if you guys have been through this in your own games and you have experienced the whole dormant thing, can you let me know if this is something that happens with you guys? Like, is this a bug? Is this a glitch in the game? I'm gonna keep it as is. I'm happy for my storyline to kind of continue on this way, but let me know, like, is it an issue you guys have had? Does this happen sometimes? Did I do something wrong? Because I swear I did nothing. I did nothing to fix it or to, shift or play around with it. I literally just gave him a makeover in CAS. And he had a werewolf form already in CAS, so I just fixed it up and that's it. I didn't actually go and tweak anything with him, so I'm kind of surprised that it turned out the way it did. But hey, that's intriguing, no? It's definitely very intriguing. And the fact that the royals are sticking very close together, the royal wolves. They were upstairs together, they're here together right now. And I kind of love that our villainous werewolf is golden. That's just so cool. Like, our blue-eyed werewolf is golden. It's so unique because we haven't had another golden wolf. All our wolves seem to be brown or light-colored or black, but not really a golden one. Hi. Well, guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.